the Debbie Perkins Radio Show. And here's your host, Debbie Perkins.
Can you hear me, Mark?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're live and on the air right now.
Okay, great. All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Hollywood Red Carpet Radio Show. I'm Debbie Perkins, and I'm your host, and I have a beautiful actress this evening. She's more than an actress. She's a writer, and she's also a producer. Her name is Lydia Manson, and welcome to the show, Lydia.
Hi, Debbie. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
It's so amazing, and you've done so many wonderful things lately. It's unbelievable, and it's such a whirlwind for you, so it's really wonderful to have you on.
Oh, I can't believe I'm here.
I'm just very
This
blessed,
past year
and I
has
want
been
to thank
crazy. I still can't believe all this is happening.
you know, it happens to good people. Good things happen to good people.
Aw,
So
thank you.
I
That's so
want
sweet.
to talk with you. I want to talk with you about, now you've done some wonderful things lately, but when you were younger, growing up, now where did you grow up?
So I was born in Valdosta, Georgia. And then when I was 7 years old, I moved to Buffalo, New York. And I lived there until I was in my mid-20s. And then I moved to where I am now, which is I'm a little bit south of Albany, New York. So I mainly grew up in Buffalo.
That's
so
awesome.
I rep Bill's Mafia.
That's so cool. And what a different world you have come from, different ones, you know. And it's kind of maybe
Yes,
the way you are now.
I mean, even though my early childhood was the South, I really don't remember a lot of it. But I remember mostly growing up in Buffalo. Was very close with my grandparents, so that's mostly the childhood that I remember.
Deb, are you there? Hello? I think she's having problems. Well, tell us more about yourself, Lydia.
So I only recently started getting into acting just this past year. And I've also really gotten into doing cosplays. That's become a passion of mine. I really enjoy doing that. I enjoy doing... Oh, she's back.
Can you hear me? Good. I'm
Yep.
good. For those people that don't know what cosplay is and the younger folks that listen, could you do a little explanation of that?
Yes. So cosplay is taking characters from, pop culture or movies, comics, anything of that sort, and bringing them to life, essentially. So you can either buy your costume or hand make it. I've done both, or kind of a combination of the two. So some of my cosplays that I've done are Wednesday Addams, Poison Ivy. I've done the Uma Thurman from Batman and Robin version. I've done Harley Quinn, the Suicide Squad version. I've also done a Viking kind of Red Riding Hood. That was kind of like one I made up. I've also done The Bride of Frankenstein. So those are just I just did Catwoman, the Michelle Pfeiffer version. So,
wow. That's so fun. And it takes a long time to put those costumes together.
It does. And trying to perfect the makeup and the mannerisms, it is a lot of work. I mean, seeing the final product is amazing, but it is so much work.
Oh, I imagine that, and trying to replicate,
yes,
actual actress that you're portraying, which is so cool. But how fun is that? I mean, I can't even imagine. I think I'd love it because I like to dress up in costume. But I mean, where do you do this? You go to the conventions and things like that?
I have gone to a few different conventions. I also I've made some TikToks dressed as the different characters. I've had a lot of fun as Wednesday and Harley Quinn doing TikToks. I've gotten to I did a TikTok as Wednesday Adams, where I'm just like, I'm a homicidal maniac. We look just like everyone else. And then, of course, a few different ones as Harley Quinn. Those are always great because she's just a super fun character to play because she's just so wild and crazy and just doesn't care what anybody thinks of her. So she's definitely a super fun character to play.
That's so awesome. And you've been, now have you always thought of yourself as doing entertainment in your future when you were younger? Or is this something that came about?
Gosh, no.
Really?
Actually, growing up and even into my first year of college, the plan was to be a pediatrician, actually.
Wow.
So I had actually started my college career as pre-med. And then I realized I just really did not like biology. So that really put a damper on the whole pre-med.
Yes,
and then I actually switched my major to criminal justice. So I actually have a degree in criminal justice, and I pursued a career in law enforcement. So I actually worked in law enforcement up until 2 years ago. So I actually hadn't even thought of being in the entertainment industry until really a year ago when I was cast into The House That Eats Flesh. And
no kidding.
This all started.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I think
I had always wanted
to have the background though, Lydia, because now you have this education on, different aspects of working in law enforcement. So you bring all of that to the table for other parts as you move forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I studied psychology in college, so I think that definitely helps me a little bit. So I have that going.
That's amazing.
Yes. I've always wanted to sing. So, I guess I've always wanted that part in the entertainment industry, but I had never thought of myself as an actress.
Singing as an actress too. There are movies that do that type of thing where they have, little areas like The Sound of Music, that type of movie. Would you be interested in working in those or like
Bobby
cabaret
Lee,
type?
He had commented on my status earlier. Yes. I absolutely love musicals. Like, I'm a huge Broadway fan. Like, I absolutely love going to Broadway shows. Me and my mom would always go to shows together. There's a theater in Buffalo called Shays. So we would always go to see shows at Shays together. So I absolutely love musicals, and I would always just sing along with all of those songs growing up. And Bobby Lee, who I believe you had sent him the link to listen to this show. He's actually my music manager. So right now we're trying to find me a band to sing with so that I can kind of get my music out there. So that's the goal right now, is to try and find me a band so I can sing.
Looking for a band, what type of music are you venturing into? Are you looking to do soft rock, easy listening, country music?
I would love to do soft rock, rock music. That would be ideal right now.
Perfect. And that gives people an opportunity to understand, your direction.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
awesome.
always, I posted some videos of, I always say I'm like super boring because when I'm at home, like,
I don't think so.
I love using like my label maker and I love like putting together my can organizer and stuff.
It means that you know where your things are and you don't mix things up. You know where they are.
I'm super OCD, but I'm CDO I'm CDO like it should be in alphabetical order.
But that helps you in a way because you multitask and you don't have.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You got the family. You have. You have a million things that you have to do every day just for them, and then And then at
and I
some
have like
point,
so many projects coming up. So right now I have like every script has its own binder. And then everything is like color coded. So I have like different color highlighters and pens and everything.
It's awesome. This is fabulous. You've not just done acting, you've also dabbled a little bit in writing and producing. Did you see yourself doing these type of things? Because, I mean, really, this is amazing what you have accomplished in the last few years.
As far as producing goes, no, I never really anticipated producing anything. But when I got brought on for The House That Eats Flesh, I was, I just had a very small part. And then our director, Josh Graves, he saw that, I was helping promote the movie and everything. And he brought me on as an associate producer. And then the producer that we had, unfortunately, decided to leave the project. And he saw that I was really working hard. So he was like, Lydia, I would love for you to step up and be, the full producer of this project. And I said, absolutely. I want to learn, I don't want to be just an actress. I would love to learn like every aspect of filmmaking. So he made me producer. And I just delved into the project, and together we made this fabulous movie with, our DP, Carlos Berber. You can see the teaser trailer we have out now for The House That Eats Flesh. It's absolutely amazing what we were able to accomplish in just 6 days of filming in a Airbnb that we rented. It was just amazing. We used all real special effects there. We didn't do any CGI for this film. It was great. And I'm so happy that I got to be a part of this project. And I'm going to be going to the Cult Classic Convention in Bastrop, Texas in February with Sean Thompson, who actually plays Baghead, the killer in the film, to help promote the film. So I'm super excited for that.
That is so awesome. And you must be stoked, because that is like huge and fun. I mean, conventions are great.
Yes.
They really are.
Conventions are amazing. Yeah.
And that's when they realize who you are, and they will come back and see you again and again because, you're representing some really great work.
Yeah. I've gotten to meet so many great celebrities too.
Isn't that something though? Who's your favorite that you've so far?
I think one of the more interesting meets that I got to do was I was at Monster Mania 46, and when I found out that Monster Mania 46 was kind of a Chucky reunion because Brad Dourif was there, Fiona Dourif, Alex Vincent, I was like, oh man, I have to do my Bride of Chucky cosplay.
You did.
So I dressed as Tiffany, and so I'm walking around and I'm like, you know what? It's the last day. I'm going to go and try and hit the celebrity tables, So I go in, and there's Alex Vincent, and he didn't have anybody in his line, and he sees me, and I'm dressed as Tiffany, and I'm holding my Chucky doll, and he calls me over, and I'm just like looking around, and I'm pointing to myself, and I'm like, me? You want me to come over? And he's like, yeah. He's like, come here. And I'm like, okay. So I shuffle over to his table, and I'm like, hi. And he was like, hey, how are you doing? He's like, you look great. And I was like, thank you so much. Now, I had done photos of me in my Tiffany cosplay just like maybe a month or two before that and posted them on my Facebook. And somebody had actually tagged him in the photos, and he commented on them saying, great job. So I looked at him and I was like, I'm sure you don't remember this, but I was like, you actually commented on my photos on Facebook, and he was like, I did. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, that was really nice of me. And I was like, yeah, I thought so too. So I got to take photos with Alex Vincent and his Chucky doll while I was dressed as Tiffany. So I think that was one of the coolest experiences, I feel like, at a convention that I had. But I think
it
probably
sounds more like fate. It sounds like you were supposed to meet him because he commented on your pictures back when.
Right?
And you probably thought, oh, how awesome would it be to meet him? And then you manifested it.
Right. But then I got
Isn't
to
that,
meet Kane Hodder at that same convention. So I feel
oh, you did?
like, yeah,
He's so
I mean,
scary
Kane was
looking.
pretty awesome to
Sweet.
meet.
He's so scary to look like you see the wrestler in him and then you see him as a killer, and you know what I mean, and he's worked with so many of the Jason Voorhees,
Yes.
and you know he's such a great guy, but he's so kind of scary like, but yet sweetheart, total sweetheart.
I was like, Kane, I know you don't choke people. I was like, but I would really like a picture of you choking me. He's like, I'm not allowed to do that anymore. And I was like, oh, but please.
But probably lawsuits and whatnot. But you know
oh
what?
yeah, no, there apparently there was a lawsuit, but I was like,
and he might
I
do
would
it to
love
a
it.
strong man, but then again, we know the nature of what you're doing. It's for entertainment. It's for fun.
Yes.
And you have a fan base started, which is really great, and they really do support you. I think that's
I know.
Isn't that amazing?
I still can't believe I even can say I have fans. I think that is crazy. Like never in my life. And I'm still flabbergasted at the fact that I have that. So, and I say all the time, I have like the best fans in the world.
You're very humble. And you will probably have to just enjoy that.
I try to get, like, anytime I post like a picture or a status or anything, I try to get back to every single comment that I get, because if somebody's taking the time out of their day to write to me, I want to make sure that I get back to each and every one of them.
That makes sense, you know, because they are taking a minute to say, wow, you look great today, you know, or whatever it may be. I think that's very humbling. But there's going to come a time when you probably get too many, but maybe never too many. You know what I mean? There's never one.
I'm never going to think of myself as too good to reply to somebody who's complimenting me, or even somebody, you know, like I get negative comments and it's just like, okay, you know, like, thank you. Like, if that's really what you think, thank you. Like, you know,
I think
I don't send out a lot of friend requests. Like you chose to be here. So yeah, exactly. Yes. Like you chose to be here. So why are you still here then? If you're just choosing to be here to insult me, you know? So thanks.
Yeah.
If you have nothing better to do than spend your time insulting me.
Yeah, they got nothing better. Exactly. And you know what? It just goes to show that when you brush off those people, because for one, if they're not interested in what you do. And what you do is you're entertaining people who love what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, has anybody called you a scream queen yet?
I've heard it. I like to say that I'm trying to be a scream queen because I know that I am nowhere near one yet. I would love to reach that status someday, but I know I'm not quite there yet. I love to scream, but I haven't actually gotten to scream in a film yet.
Some people can't.
Oh, I can scream.
You can. You know, yes. And I think that's important if you're looking to work towards certain types of horror movies where they do need people that can scream and scream very, very loud, very long sometimes. And I think that takes us back.
Yes, I was actually, I was filming at Bill Diamond's studio down on Cornwall on the Hudson, and made a comment about trying to be a scream queen. And he was like, all right, well, scream. And I was like, oh, you want me to just scream right here? And he was like, yeah. He's like, you know, if you're going to do it, do it. And I was like, okay. So I screamed, and, you know, they took video of it. And he was like, you know what? He's like, I'm going to use that. He's like, I'm going to use that scream in something. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I would be honored for you to use my scream in something, Bill.
And so, you know what? If you need me to scream again,
absolutely.
I'd be happy to do that in a movie.
Just let me know.
Yeah, any opportunity is an opportunity to do something wonderful and great.
Yeah.
Now, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about, you've been involved in a few movies here, and
Yeah.
wrote them down as I saw them. And so you have alternative realities, which you play a doll genie.
You cut out, so I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said you in alternate realities, you play a doll genie.
Oh, so that was just like a little fan film that somebody put together for YouTube.
They all matter. It doesn't, it's
Yeah.
all about how you learn to work with different directors. People do things differently, and it's all based to help you become more familiar with being in front of the camera. Now, are you shy at all in front of the camera, or are you pretty much?
I'm getting better.
Yeah, I think it takes time to accept that.
Yeah, with each new project, I'm getting a little bit better, a little bit more confident in front of the camera. So I'm trying just to believe in myself a little bit more.
And that's good. That's a good way to think about it, because I remember being shy at first about cameras. And then I just said, I'm just going to forget it's even there, because if I just focus on what I'm doing, I don't have to think about that extra million eyes on, or whatever it is looking at you. So yeah. I get that. And I think it's great that you say that, because there's so many young people that may follow your suit. They might want to do what you're doing. And that's wonderful. So, but it isn't an easy road, but you're getting into it at a really wonderful time, as far as now that COVID's finally done, or it done ish almost. And everybody, did you notice that there's a lot of people really gung ho to get filming going again?
Yes. Which is, good for us.
It's awesome, because there's so many people that have been out of work for so long, and all those offices and studios were all shut down as well. I'm sure you understand that all too well. Now, of your movies, which one do you think
excuse me,
kind of is making the biggest point? Oh, okay. Are you there? Can you still hear me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Now, I was wondering, of all the movies that you made, which one made the biggest point, like stood out to you so far?
So I've only filmed a couple so far, and they're kind of completely different. So there was The Dark Office, which was more of like a psychological kind of horror film. And then there was, The House That Eats Flesh, which was very gory and bloody. So,
a lot of blood. Is that a lot of blood? Really?
Lots of blood.
Lots of blood.
Oh yeah, man. Thanksgiving has never been this bloody. That was the tagline of our film.
We're going to take a quick break on that.
Guts.
Everybody. Talking about blood. We'll be right back, everybody. Take a quick break. We'll be Welcome back to the show, everybody. And we just had a wonderful break here with Lydia Manson. And this is Debbie Perkins on the Hollywood Red Carpet Radio Show. And Lydia is an actress. She's a writer. And she is a producer. But she's much more than that. She wears a lot of hats. So welcome back to the show, Lydia.
I like to just refer to myself as a regular gal.
I don't know about that. You've got some strength I don't understand. But I commend you for it, because you've done some wonderful things. And it's really amazing, some of the films that you're involved with now. And what can you tell us about the different films that you're involved with? And I do have a list, but so that I know what you're talking about. But talk to me about some of the great movies that you're involved with?
So next week, I'm actually going to be going to New Jersey, and I'm going to be filming a short film. It's based on the novel called Kiss Me, Jude, and it's going to be directed by Tom D'Amico. It's just going to be a short film. It's going to be 10 minutes long. So I'm very excited to be a part of that. I'm actually going to be playing Jude. So
That's cool.
I get to basically seduce Phineas. Can't give much more away from that because it is such a short film that if I say much more, I'll just give the whole plot away.
Exactly.
So
now it's a very short film, but are people going to be able to get that movie?
yes,
Or you're going to watch
Tom
it on
said,
like one of those
I know
networks?
Tom. He's probably going. Tom said he's going to be editing it very fast, so it should be out relatively quickly to stream. Probably put it up on YouTube. So as soon as I have it, I'll be posting it for people. After that, I'm going to be going to Texas at the end of November to film Passages of Nexus, and that's directed by Alex Nigo. And that is about a serial killer that goes after e-girls from the internet. So that's going to be released on DVD, Blu-ray, and then streaming networks. And that probably be available spring of next year.
Wow.
That has a lot of different special effects in it.
So close to like reality, because
exactly. You never know who you're talking to on the internet.
I think movies like that help people to be more aware.
Yes.
Of your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep yourself more just safer, even though it might be fictional. But it is so close to reality now, where you just have to keep an eye on surroundings. What do you think?
Exactly. I think so too, because, how many times do we talk to people on the internet all the time, and we think that we know these people, and then, you just go to meet them in real life and they're not who we think they are. People get catfished every day, and,
right.
Sometimes you don't come home from meeting those people. So I think that this movie could be a lesson learned for a lot of people.
True. Yeah. But and
then
help young
at
women too.
the end of the year, I get to go to Arizona, and I get to team up with Carlos Berber for his film Alibi. And Carlos Berber was actually the DP for The House That Eats Flesh, so I'm super excited to get to work with him again. So he wrote the film Alibi, he's directing the film Alibi, and he's actually acting in it as well. So super excited about that. That film is about a psychiatrist who moonlights as a dominatrix and what happens when she has a very bad day.
Okay.
So that is a very interesting topic.
That is really cool. Now, are you going to play one of the lead roles, or do you get to, because you do have the background?
I'm playing her receptionist.
Oh, wow.
So
you know what? That's awesome.
Not
because,
a lead.
That gives you another direction that,
yes.
Because as you move forward in your career, you can say I've done this type, I've been a doctor, I've been a nurse.
As much as I love horror, I don't want to be typecast.
Yeah.
So I want to do different genres. I want to do a little bit of everything. So, which is amazing because in the spring, I get to be part of an amazing film called Compared to You, which I believe we have a mutual friend involved in that. Keith Tatnus McCleary. He said you were on his show last year, Tatnus Uncensored.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yep.
I was his guest.
Yes.
Isn't that funny? Small world.
So I'm actually executive producer on that film, as well as I play Lacey Ryan. So Keith wrote the film, and it's about real experiences in his life after his fiance left him, and I play the fiance.
Yeah.
So
somebody's got to play that girl.
Yep. So it's going to be a rom-com. So it's going to be my first rom-com, and I absolutely love to make people laugh. So I'm super excited to be a part of this. Now, when Keith wrote this movie, he didn't want it to be like any other rom-com because, you know, he wanted to make a film that sets apart from other films. So after reading the script, I think he is able to accomplish that. It is really funny, but it also, I think, gives a little something to resonate with men and women. So it's not your typical chick flick. I think it's going to be one of those films that men are going to want to watch too. And we are actually going to be launching a Kickstarter for that film coming up soon. So anybody that wants to help support that, you know, we would absolutely love that. We are going to be having different perks, I think, that are a little bit different than what people are used to when it comes to crowdfunding. Really? Yep.
Nice.
And just to take a step back, we're actually doing an Indiegogo for Alibi right now. So anybody that's interested in grabbing a perk for Alibi right now, you can actually grab a perk to act in a scene with me right now for Alibi. Really? So if anybody's interested in that, you can check out the Alibi Indiegogo right now, or just pre-order your DVD or Blu-ray right now for Alibi. So because, you know, we can't make indie films without the support of our
Alibi.
fans.
You're in that movie, and you said that if somebody wants to help with that movie, and the perk would be to act adjacent to you.
So right now there's a perk to act in a scene with me. There's 2 spots available, and I do believe the scene would be, because I play the main character's receptionist. Now, I play a receptionist, but I also have a secret life as a dominatrix as well.
Ooh.
So I do believe that the scene that the people would be acting in, they would be my submissives in the scene.
You're going to have a crazy wardrobe for that movie.
So if anybody is interested in buying that perk, you can go ahead and check out the Indiegogo for Alibi and just go ahead and click on that spot that says act in a scene with Lydia.
There you go. Exactly. And why
I'm
not?
Gonna be very sad. I'm going to be very sad if nobody buys that perk.
I don't see why they wouldn't. I think they would have a blast doing that scene with you. And to be connected with a movie that is actually going to go places, because yes, I do know him, and he was wonderfully nice to me. And, you know, that goes a long way, especially in this world. So they're getting more for their buck, let's just say. And being a part of a movie forever is just fantastic. Can't get any better than that.
When we do the Kickstarter for Compared to You, one of the fun perks that we're going to offer for that is, so Keith is going to be playing Austin, and after he gets dumped by my character Lacey, his friends are going to try and get him to start dating again. So we came up with the idea of, wouldn't it be really funny if we did like a throwback to the 90s and video dating? You know, so his friends sit him down on the couch and they pop in a DVD, and all of these video dating things come up. So one of the perks we're going to offer is you could make a video dating little video to show. So that's going to be one of the perks, is that your video dating video can be in the movie.
Oh,
and
neat.
we thought that would be really fun to offer as a perk. And that's what we wanted. We wanted different perks, because it's like, you know, everybody always has the same perks for their fundraising, you know, and that's we're not knocking other campaigns, because, you know, it works, you know, but we just wanted something different, you know, because we're just trying to show that Compared to You is a different rom-com. So it's like, you know, how are we going to show that it's a different rom-com if we do the same perks that everybody else does? Yep. So we wanted to think outside the box. So we were like, okay, well, we have to offer different perks. So we thought that would be a really great idea.
Brilliant, really.
Oh, thank you.
That's awesome. And, you know, you're doing it so unique. You don't want to be like other people. So I think that you're going to set the standard or the bar higher for these other people who are doing fundraisers for their movie projects. You're going to actually make people do different things with theirs. So you might be setting a new avenue for how people, get people involved for the production department and financial.
I hope so. We have a few other unique ideas that we have up our sleeves. So you're just going to have to check out the Kickstarter once it launches. So it's going to be great. We got a lot of cool ideas.
I like that you said it like that because there's a few projects to get involved with, but it sounds like yours is going to be a really great opportunity for the right people.
Yeah, we wanted it to be, like, why are people going to want to donate to our project? We wanted them,
right.
We wanted to give them a reason, So.
Yeah, awesome. I'm so happy that you're doing that because it just sounds so new and refreshed. Like you said, everybody's kind of doing it similar to the same. Mm-hmm. And I think that's only because they see it works.
Yes.
But thinking out of the box is really going to be a really different experience for everyone. Now, what about some other movies that you have been or you are being involved in? Scream Queen and Campfire.
So the short film, The Dark Office, that I filmed with Jonathan Moody is actually an anthology Scream Queen Campfire is an anthology. So The Dark Office is my short film of Scream Queen Campfire. Jonathan Moody is releasing The Dark Office on its own as a favor to me to help me, kind of push my career forward. So not only is he putting The Dark Office as part of the anthology of Scream Queen Campfire, he's also releasing The Dark Office on its own to kind of help me out. So Scream Queen Campfire is being released under Sick Flick Productions, which is Jonathan Moody's production company, which he also made me co-producer of the production company because, when I went down to film The Dark Office, we really hit it off. He liked my ideas. So he was like, I really enjoyed working with you. So now I'm set to film about 6 other films with Jonathan Moody and Sick Flick Productions. So we're going to be working on a film called Psychotica together, which is a movie about a superhero called Psychotica. And what she does is she goes after basically like serial killers. So she's kind of like
she's like a vigilante.
Dexter. Yep,
but
she's a female
the
Dexter.
Bad guy.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be
Jonathan,
very interesting.
he's a friend of mine, and he's been on my show, so
yeah,
I know
absolutely
he does
love
quality
Jonathan.
work.
Yes,
he really does. So that's wonderful to hear that you're doing films with him because he really is very professional, and he's good at what he does, and he's worked really hard for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember. It's been so long since I've had him on the show. I should get him back on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Jonathan, he's
awesome.
he's running like 15 of his own podcasts right now.
Isn't that crazy?
I know. I always rag on him.
I'm amazing.
So I'm like, what podcast are you doing today out of the 100 that you do?
Yeah.
But
that
I absolutely love Jonathan.
Made everybody do different things,
right now we're looking for investors for the projects to get them up and running. So we just want to make some awesome films,
Sounds like you're on a good roll. And he's made some great films. He's done a lot of good stuff lately. Yes. Well, actually, for years now, because I've known him for a long time, and he's been doing some really great things. You know what? It's like watching awesome directors grow. You know what I mean? Watching Jonathan was like watching a great director grow. And I'm so happy that you said that. I had no idea until he wrote on that post And it was funny because I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. So it's kind of like, I had him on years ago, and now I'm having one of his people on now.
Yep.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yes.
But this is fabulous.
It's crazy how like the indie world is all connected to each other.
It's funny. But it's good too because it shows that people support each other.
And that's how it should be, I try to preach it all the time. There's so much like backstabbing and basically just like trash talking in the indie world. And it's like, if we could all just like get along, could you imagine what kind of movies we could make?
Oh, I know.
Like if we just stopped all of the negative and turned it into positive, like, could you imagine what we could do? Like the amount of energy we put into just like putting each other down. Like if we just put that into work, like,
and the entertainment industry would blow up.
Exactly.
Oh, it would. Like, and everybody would be just, instead of being angry and depressed and sad, they'd be laughing and holding their bellies because they hurt so much from, being so overjoyed.
Not only in the entertainment industry, even if we just put that philosophy into our everyday life, like just think of all the things we could accomplish. It's just, I mean, even myself, like I know I can work on myself in that aspect as well, but it's just one of those things that I think everyone could work on and, got to make the world a better place.
Now, do you see yourself doing period films? Like,
yes, but
years
only
ago, 200 years ago, 500 years ago, even right up to 1,000 years ago. Do you see yourself, would you like to do different period films, or do you really just like dark, more like a dark horror? I mean, what is your range interest?
I feel like, yes, I could see myself doing that, but only in the sense of being a vampire.
Oh, really?
I feel like that is the only way I could maybe pull it off.
We need a good vampire movie, don't we? We really do.
I feel like that would be the only way I could pull it off.
Yeah.
Unless I like really, really, really studied it. Oh my God. I have my own custom fangs.
You do?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Now, they clip in, and then how do those things work?
They snap right on.
Really?
They were, I had a mold made of my teeth. And then the fangs were made for me. So they're upper and lower. So you
come with your own gear? That's great.
I come with my own gear. Yeah, I actually,
and they fit you perfectly, so you're able to speak with them.
Yes. I'm going to be playing a vampire in one of for Echo Lake Universe for Jonathan Moody. So, yep.
Oh, that's fun. And now, if you could be a hero, any hero, superhero, or villain, who would it be and why?
I think if I was going to be a hero, I would go with Greek mythology. And I would go with Megara. I know people don't consider her a hero, but she saved Hercules. So I think that considers her a hero. Because, she gave up her life to save Hercules. So I'm going to go with Megara.
That's fabulous. And it's very humbling that you'd say that. That's really cool. Now, what about doing your own stunts?
I would absolutely love to do my own stunts. In fact, I hope that I can. Coming from a law enforcement background, I'm trained in defensive tactics. I can shoot weapons. I can shoot rifles. I can shoot guns.
So I would absolutely
love.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about the gun thing. Because, and some people get intimidated trying to shoot, a weapon.
I'm actually a really good shot.
And you're trained in it. Now, what about playing a police officer? Would you do that? Because you've been one, but then
I did a photo shoot once. I did a photo shoot once, and I climbed a tree in high-heeled boots and a mini dress. And the photographer was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm climbing a tree." And she was like, "Why?" I'm like, "Just trust me." I was like, "It's going to be an awesome shot." And it was. She was like, "I can't believe you just did that." And I was like, "But it was a good shot, wasn't it?" And she goes, "Well, yeah." And I'm like, "There we go." So
You're so funny. That's really cool. You're so beautiful. Have you ever thought of being
oh
a
gosh.
model?
I never think of myself as a model, because I'm just like, I'm chubby, like I do the truffle shuffle. But if somebody would love to hire me as a model, absolutely. I would love to do it. I just like to dress up, and if people want to take my photo, then so be it. Right now, my friend Stacy Book out of Buffalo, she does a lot of my photos. We went to high school together. So now she does makeup and special effects makeup, and just special effects for movies. So she does a lot of my makeup and photos. So she always rags on me. She was like, "Yeah, I have no problem riding your coattails to fame." And I'm like, "Stacy, shut up." I'm like, "You are talented. You don't need to ride anybody's coattails." I'm like, "Believe in yourself, God damn it!" Like,
and she does her own thing where she creates.
Yeah, she does. She did the special effects on Model Hunger. Oh no, she was script supervisor on Model Hunger, and then she did the special effects for another indie movie, and the name escapes me right now, and I don't want to mess it up, but it had Debbie Rochon in it. Oh, Killer Rack. She did the special effects for Killer Rack. So she's talented. She just doesn't believe in herself, and it frustrates me.
And you know what? That'll come with time, because I think you believe in yourself when you do what you love the best.
Yes. And she's really good. Like anytime I post our photos, everybody's like, "Oh my God, your makeup is fabulous." And I was like, "Yes, Stacy did an amazing job."
It really is. And she teaches you as well how to do makeup for yourself. But I think you pretty much got that down as well.
Yeah, I still FaceTime her sometimes, and I'm like, "Stacy, tell me what to do." She was like, "You can do this." And I was like, "No, I can't." I was like, "That's why I'm calling you."
That's right. That's her expertise.
Exactly. I'm like, we've been friends for literally like 17 years now.
That's great though. And you know that having somebody that can help you with different things like that, it's fabulous. Now, moving on, we got a few more minutes, and I was just wondering, what are you looking to do in the near future? I mean, besides if we haven't covered anything that you'd like to cover right now.
I just want to keep acting. I just want to get more roles so I can just keep developing my craft. Right now I take an improv class twice a week. I'm also watching Natalie Portman's master class so I can learn from her, because I absolutely adore Natalie Portman. I take this very seriously. I started later in life. Like, I started all this just a year ago. I'm going to be turning 33 next month.
No way.
Yes.
You look so young.
Oh gosh, thank you so much. So I know a lot of people start acting when they're very young. So, I know I'm older, so I'm like, I got to get in there, and I have to do as much as I can as fast as I can, because I have to catch up. So I'm like, that's what I need to do. So
where can people get in touch
I take this very serious. So I am on Instagram, Lydia Manson 88. I'm on TikTok, Lydia Manson 88. Or, if you want to email me, it's lydiamanson88@gmail.com. I try to keep everything the same, so it's easy peasy. You want to catch me on Facebook, Lydia Manson. I try to keep up to date on all my social medias. I try to be easy to contact. I run all my social medias myself, so you are talking to me.
That's fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing your
thank
story
you
with us.
for having me.
I would love
It was
to have
a
you back
pleasure.
on after you
Oh my
completed some of
gosh.
your films.
Absolutely.
I
would love to come back.
You're so great. Well, I want to thank you
Oh, and also,
so much.
I would love to have you. I have my own podcast every Thursday nights, Just the Deets, for Hellfire Radio. If you would love to come on, I would love to have you. Thank you so much.
All righty. Thank you. And everybody, I wanted to thank Stephen Chang for setting this up with Lydia Manson this evening. He was going to be on, but we're going to reschedule with him. And we will see you next week. And thank you so much for listening tonight. Have a great night, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.